Beyond the lyrics, this project will engage aspiring hip-hop artists across the city of Toronto, allowing them the chance to discuss the meaning behind some of the music that is currently in circulation and address any misperceptions. So this is our third episode of Behind the Lyrics, and today we have
Scrwg, Scrilla.
Yeah, what's up?
Thank you so much for joining us at Beyond the Lyrics.
Thanks for having me.
You are one of the pioneers in Toronto hip hop. So let's get right into it and let's talk about how you even became a part of the music industry.
Oh, okay. Toronto has a big music rap industry, as you already know, and I'm not even really a pioneer. I just was one of the people that came before some of the people that are out now. I kind of got into it with a friend of mine, Brass Tacks. He used to have a group called Brass Tacks, and that was in the time when there was Brass Tacks and GCP and Ghetto Concept and groups like that. From that point of time, Chocolate Cardinal Official. But at that point of time when they were doing their music, I didn't really want to show my face or be into entertainment at the time. But it was the type of lifestyle that I was living and the way I was living. It just they didn't go together. It didn't make sense to put yourself out there like that, if you understand what I'm saying. So what happened was I ended up getting into some trouble in 2002 and wound up in jail. And when I ended up in jail, I thought that nobody knew me, and there were so many people coming up to me, calling me by my name that I never met or knew their face. They would just come up to me and say, hey, and it made me realize that more people knew me and my face than I thought. So I felt that that'd be all right now for me to pursue something in music now and be more out there publicly.
Okay, so I guess you come out of jail now and you start making music. What was like the thought process and the feeling behind making that first song that you pushed out to the world?
The thought process was like, at the time I came out, there was a whole bunch of people doing different things, and one of the things that I noticed was all the DVD games. So there was the Come Up and some other ones from the States, but in Toronto they had Rap Sheet. Shout out to Rap Sheet, big up Rap Sheet. And I was just watching it, and I noticed that they were going from all these different sections of Toronto, and I didn't feel like there was anybody from my section. So it started kind of, I always loved music, but my first song started that way.
So you said there was no music from your section. Where are you from?
VP line, Danforth to Steeles.
Okay. Now, so you put out music for your section. What type of impact was made when you started to release your music?
It was like the impact that I thought that I brought to it was that there's some people that are from this type of side of this section that are authentic or official, let's say, not to say real, but just authentic about what they're saying and where they're coming from, and that there are people like that in that section. That was one of the things, and I wanted to bring pride to people that were from that part. So now I feel like there's that pride. I feel like I helped to encourage that.
Well, in your music video, I'm Stuck, that was one of the main popular mainstream ones that ended up on Much Music.
I'm stuck, call me addicted. The feds lock me up, a judge call me convicted. Charged with possession and the weapons restricted. And that means I'm looking at a 3 to 5.
How did that process go for you?
That process probably would have never ever happened for me if I didn't know the people that I knew that were pursuing music rap careers before me. So during their journeys, they amassed contacts and different people, and because of that I was able to go through the same channel and pathway and get my music played or my video played on Much Music as well, get a Much Music video grant and things like that I didn't have no knowledge, or I wouldn't know what to do or how to do.
In your music video, I see that you go into a church, and it looks like you're kind of like confessing. Was there any motive behind that?
No, it wasn't really a confession. It was more of like just a blessed vibe and trying to sort of like praying or just looking for blessings in this struggle that I was going through, as I was saying in the lyrics of living in a certain type of lifestyle and wanting better and wanting to do better.
You've been around the hip-hop scene for a very long time.
Come through in a blue jag. Auto Jam got a new steel blue mag. Magnum Force Palmer Court, cut your life short.
What do you think the biggest difference between today's hip-hop and what it used to be for our city?
Today's hip-hop is a lot more worldwide. It's more everywhere than where it was, but we can't forget that it had to start somewhere.
Veteran in the game, lame, start new beginners. I'ma eat your food, no, I don't mean your dinner. Up the creek with no paddle, open you a good swimmer.
And there was people that had to build it and bring it along to get it to where it is now. Like now, we have social medias and all these other platforms that people can be seen more and promote themselves a little bit easier. Whereas where we were coming from, it was a little bit more difficult. So that's one of the big difference that I noticed. Whereas now, so some of the people from that time could make a video or something and it might not get as much views or hits or likes as now, but it's all a process in time as time been going.
Have you noticed any similarities between what's happening now and before, like rappers like collaborating or having like beef and things like that?
Yeah, I noticed a few similarities, but I think that it's just evolving, so it's growing, and it as much as some things are still the same, a lot is new and brand new and fresh, and that's good and that's okay. You know, like they using a little bit more singing, a little bit more audio tunes, a lot more trap beats. There's a lot more down south influence in the music, things like that we were in our time, in not because my time is every time, but in that time before, it was more New York influenced. It was more East Coast influence, whereas now it could just be anything. And I believe we have more of our own of a personality that we're developing right now.
Now, what do you think the artists in Toronto are lacking?
Management. They're lacking management for one thing, and just direction, because now we have a whole bunch of people that are just coming with some good music, but they just figure, you know, I'm just gonna make a video or make a song, throw it up on SoundCloud or Facebook or one of the social media platforms, and that's it. Hopefully somebody will stumble across it and get me somewhere, but there's a lot more to it than that. There's the side of being creative and writing your songs and all of that and putting that together, and then there's the side of the business side that's really intricate, and the artists now need to learn more about it. So either through somebody like a manager or some sort of a mentor, or just some more people that are more knowledgeable of it, because I think it could help a lot of them a lot in where they want to go.
Sorry, are you still rapping right now, or are you doing other things like management, or are you still in the music industry?
I'm just in the music industry altogether, but I still rap here and there. I just came out with a video like 2 months ago where I collaborated with some people.
I give it to you if you want it. I've been on the run, I've been wanted. I don't know cause I can't even call it. I give you my number, then call it. I turn alcoholic. Dispensary puffin' exotic. You tell me you need it, I got it. Be sure to have ends in your pocket.
So I'm still active. I can rap anytime, but I'm also now trying to be more involved with the behind the scenes. Like some of those things we were just talking about in your last question.
Do you mentor any of the younger kids from your neighborhood that do rap, or do you tell them any certain you give them any specific advice on rapping?
Yeah, I try to give them everything I know or all that I know. I don't believe that I should keep anything from them if I know anything or if there's something I can help them with, because maybe it could change their life, you know? This one simple thing. So I'm always like, I don't want to be like a preacher, but I feel like that's what I'm supposed to do when I'm around, you know, people that are a little bit younger than me or whatever the case may be, or people that just don't even know or haven't been there. I just would voluntarily volunteer the information of whatever knowledge I have in this music business and industry.
Now, you have a large library of music, and you know, you have a couple of features with, you know, different people across the city.
Keep it honest. All of my diamonds be bloody. Keep it honest. Me and my niggas ain't running.
Now, living in a city like Toronto where, you know, the politics can get kind of heavy,
Yeah.
how do you, like, mute out the politics that's going around in the world and still keep it music-based and still be able to connect with everybody?
Yeah, and that's funny because that could tie back into one of your other questions, because now I'm thinking about what's different, and one of the things that are major difference right now is that people stay stuck in their zone or where they're from. And there was a time when people used to go everywhere. It wouldn't be surprising to see somebody from Jane and Finch in Scarborough, or somebody from Scarborough downtown. It's just now it's more segregated. A lot more people stick to where they're from, and they don't want to really mingle because of the politics. And for me, I was blessed enough to be around at that time. So I still keep that energy and that vibe. So, like for instance, if there was politics because there's always politics within this industry and this game, I don't entertain it. But if it's being brought to me, then anybody would have to answer to it. But me personally, I don't have no issues with anybody. And if I do, that's who I have an issue with. Like, if I had an issue with Crocodile Head and Crocodile Head was from this section, I'm not going to say this whole section now I don't like. I have an issue with one person, and maybe we can work it out, or we're going to sort it out the best way we can. And that's kind of how I go about it. And it's just basically positive energy. I don't let those type of thoughts enter into my mind, because I know that I believe that the thoughts can make things manifest.
So what is the advice that you would give to, you know, the younger artists that look up to you, that, you know, may be facing these problems? Like, hey, I really want to do a song with this guy, but, you know, he's from here, so we can't do that. What would you tell them to help them, like, get over that?
The best thing I could say is that, you know, you got to be, as much as you always got to love where you're from and love your crew and who you grew up with, you also know you got to learn how to stand on your own too. And what I mean by standing on your own too, you have to be able to make your own decisions, even though sometimes it might go against all of your peers and everything. You know, for just a simple example, you might like somebody's music, and just because they're from another section that there's politics, you won't like it because you're afraid for people to see that you liked it. Or, you know, and just a little things like that, just a little bit of love. Like, it doesn't mean that you have to get together and put hands and sing Kumbaya.
How do you stay away from the politics?
I can't say that I could stay away from the politics. The best thing that I can do is just try to do positive things and have a positive energy and a positive outlook. You know, just when I wake up in the morning and when I'm looking at myself, and just, instead of always saying I don't care because everybody around here says I don't care, I don't care, I don't care. Everything is I don't care. It's like I do care. So I would look at myself and said I do care, and not be so selfish, because even if I didn't care about myself, I'd still have kids, I have loved ones, I have nieces, nephews, moms, just like all of us, you know. So I can't be so selfish to always say I don't care. And just that energy of having a positive energy and a positive outlook when I step outside. I'm human though. I have bad days, but I find that helped me a lot from when I used to move with the negative energy. It'd make negative things manifest much more faster and regularly.
Now, what do you think the city could accomplish if we would stand together?
The sky's the limit. If the city could somehow stand together, or even a sense of just be a little bit more supportive, even if guys didn't want to stand beside each other, just be a little bit more supportive of the bigger picture. I feel like we could be better than Atlanta, we could be better than New York ever was. But for us to do that, it's going to take different actions. People are going to have to show more love in a way. And then I believe that the sky's the limit. I don't know what will happen. I think something will happen that's big and great that's never been done before.
Now, you were also talking a little bit earlier about a company that you have. Do you want to give us a little bit more information on what it is you guys do?
Yeah, I got a few companies and different brands that I work with. One of them, a new one is one of them is ABK. Like everybody knows that was Anybody Killers, right? But it was not Anybody Killers as in like, okay, I'm gonna kill people in the street. It was more like from a reggae standpoint, because I'm half Jamaican too, right? So it was from a reggae standpoint, like of a sound clash, sort of like, or like rap battles. It's just like anybody, we're the best, and this is where I was coming from with it. But you know, it's an acronym for many things. So we also use it for Ashanti Born Kings. Like we have businesses out in Africa too, with representing the brand as well. And I like to always say all brothers keepers, because I feel like everybody's welcome, and everybody that I meet, you're at 100, and only you can take away from your 100%. So, and the business, that business, we do clothing, we do management, we do many different things, you know? Many different things.
So what are you most proud of right now in this time in your life?
What I'm the most proud of right now in my life, I'm just proud with the direction that I'm going in, and the way how I've tried to change the way how I think about things. I'm proud of that. But my proudest moments in my rapping career was probably like I did a show with Wu-Tang Clan for their 20th anniversary. I went from watching them and looking up to them to actually getting to work with them and be on the same stage with them. So that for me was a big moment in my music journey.
Now, what other things do you do other than music?
Besides music, you know, I'm a father, I'm a brother. I try to mentor kids and try to teach them about you know, self-love and things like mental health, and just some stuff that they might be going through that they don't understand right now. Just trying to help them understand. So I try to work with kids that way too. And you know, obviously the music, photographies, productions, recording, just everything, marketing, management.
Now, what can we look forward for you in 2018? Do you have any projects dropping? Anything new coming?
Yeah, I got a few new projects that I'm working on, but I just don't want to say nothing yet because there's a couple different conversations. So I want to make sure first before I even say anything about that. But I got a couple things I'm working on in the future coming up. But I'm working with my little brother, BYDK, and he's someone to watch out for. Definitely a new talent, fresh. So I was putting a lot of energy more into working with him. BYDK, short for Breezy You Done Know.
Okay, perfect. All right, well, Scrwg, let the people know where they can find you, your social media, where they can find your new work coming out.
Yeah, man, you can find me all the time on YouTube at ABK, that means anybody. You could also find me on Instagram at Scrwg the Gods for my Instagram, SKRIGGA DAGODZ, and that's pretty much it.
To keep it 100, I give it to you if you want it. I've been on the run, I've been wanted. I don't know cause I can't even call it. I give you my number, then call it.